Addicted put out a tweet and linked a Hive blog that he did to it called guys, 4 airdrops equals 4 airdrops. And he's got a meme where it says Bitcoin down 5%, 4 airdrops Inc. And he's just like got his head just above the water because his 4 airdrops are keeping him going. So yeah, there's 4 This is a good realization. I hadn't realized either. There's 4 airdrops coming up on Hive in the near future. I think we can. Let me just have a quick look at the agenda items, because I think we're going to talk about your game next. Yeah, Dan, so this will lead nicely into your game. So basically, on the same day as the Speak Larynx miner token snapshot on the 6th of January, there will be, I assume, another airdrop for your game, Dan. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Quick answer.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and then there's another 2 airdrops that are coming up, and let me just. So there's Hive, Leo, and Cub. He says that Hive twice with airdrops on the same day. Let me just read it out. So Leo's gonna have a huge LP farm listing on a new network, and Cub has got a slow burn airdrop combined with at least 1 IDO. And this doesn't even count for fundamental developments like Hive and Splinterlands. So there's going to be other airdrops as well, of course. So he's just talking about those main 4. Maybe Task, you know a little bit more about the Leo and the Cub airdrops, right?
Yeah, what you have is the first airdrop is what's called PolyCub, and that's based on somebody's Cub holding, and that's obviously going on the Poly chain there. Then there's another airdrop which he didn't even mention, but Project Blank is going to have an airdrop based upon one's Leo holdings, and that'll include also your B Leo and your W Leo. So that's another airdrop. Then there is, which we don't have the details on, but there's an IDO that is going to burn Cub, which I guess you could effectively say is helping all the Cub holders there. And of course, then there's one that's overlooked. There's an ongoing SPS airdrop from Splinterlands that still has another 10 months or something to go on that. So, and that's just what's been announced and what we know about. Who knows what else is in the works?
Yeah, and these airdrops and claim drops, the Hive Larynx miner token will be a claim drop where you claim it every month based on a balance that you have on the 6th of January. So these drops are basically, the more Hive, the more Leo, the more Cub, the more SPS that you have, the more likely you are to get hold of these airdrops. So the incentive is to get hold in Hive, hold your Hive, hold Hive power. Don't sell it if you can help it, because you might miss out on some of these airdrops that are coming up. And it's just made Addicted super excited by the looks of it, and he's getting ready to make the most out of it. So hopefully other people do too.
I think one thing, Matt, and that's the prevailing wisdom on most chains, is to go buy it. And certainly that applies here. But the wonderful thing about the Hive ecosystem is this actually rewards the people in each area for what they've done. Now, I'm getting a little bit of Splinterlands SPS airdrop to me, but I'm not a big Splinterlands person, so I don't have a huge stake in there. But people have been active and playing and buying the cards and supporting the game and supporting the ecosystem. They're getting huge amounts of SPS. So I think it's on Hive. It comes back to that activity. Instead of buying, you earn, but you also get rewarded for your activity and your participation, your dedication to either Hive or the Cub or the Leofinance or Splinterlands, or ultimately the 3Speak once that starts branching out and other things are on there. And that's really what it comes down to. I think we'll have a talk about this, but Dan always uses the term community. And exactly that's what it is. It's the formation of a community and then the rewarding of that community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
We're really looking forward to it, because there's so much that people have already done for us already, and we haven't managed to reward them yet. So we've got records of the people that were the early adopters of the 3Speak platform. We'll have records of, the accounts. And we'll have records of the accounts that got involved in testing. We'll have records of the accounts that got involved in the Excelsi app on our desktop app on the Speak Network, and we'll have records of the people who get involved in the test nets with peer plays and the test nets with the Speak Network, and then the early adopters. And so all of these people are potential. They're incredibly valuable inputs that these people give, and they often do it for free or with no intention of receiving anything. But Dan and I are certainly looking to build as many mechanisms as possible to drop and reward value back to those people for having taken part and being the early adopters. So it's a great opportunity, because you see these other projects where the people that got involved in the .eth domains all got like multi-$1,000 airdrops recently just because they opened an account. And it's pretty crazy, but it's the way it's going because these tokens are going up in value at times. So we certainly plan to do a similar thing with people who get involved early on in the Speak Network.
Mm-hmm. Well, one other thing I want to add about the Speak Network, if I could, is that I think should excite people. There are, I can't remember, I counted up one day it was either from your proposal post or your white paper, but I counted about a dozen different ways just listed there that people could make money by participating in Speak. And to me, that's just mind-blowing. It's like, not all of it is just using your hard drive space. There's many different ways, and it really cuts to a cross-section of people where you don't have to be technical, you don't have to be a developer, you don't have to be a geek. You could just be an average person and still get rewarded. And it's like, this is going to be an opportunity for everybody who's associated with Hive and content creation and video and watching videos and commenting and so many different ways. It's incredible.
As far as I'm aware, yeah, for sure, Taskmaster. It's just going to be so cool. I'm so excited about it. Dan, as far as I'm aware as well, you've got your B tokens, and you're looking to come up with lots of different ways to distribute those to people. Have you got anything that you might want to add here to give people ideas of what type of things they're going to be getting involved in to get those B tokens?
Yeah, the B NFTs, the BZ set, we gave away, I think, about 400 or 500 during Hive Fest. I'm not sure the exact amount, but the goal is to get every Hiver to get a B. Obviously some might get duplicates because there's no KYC, and we're just going to think of ways like, some 3Speak users will get Bs if they haven't, and Speak Network users and testnet users and all that. So the B is really going to be seen as the ultimate participation NFT. Like, well, you had to participate to have this NFT. Yeah, you can buy them off the open market as well, but the origination is that get involved. And it was really nice because the NFTs were both, the punks, the Bs, both on Hive Fest, and it kind of injected the arm of Hive to really, well, I probably shouldn't use that term, but it put a jolt into us in terms of now everyone has their NFT profile pictures. You see it on Twitter. And, I've heard a lot of questions. People saying, oh, wow, you can do NFTs on Hive. And now they're starting to get interested. And it's really cool because people are just ignorant to what Hive can do.
Sure. Yeah, great. It's a great example of what's going to happen. I just look forward to us being able to come up with different tasks for people to help add value to the network, and then being able to let them go claim Bs and things like that for having taken part. So super cool. These things are rare. Hopefully in the future, you'll be able to give them to your grandkids.
Yep, only 10,000 bees.
10,000 bees in the hive. Bees in the hive. So talking about NFTs and you getting involved in NFTs there a bit, Dan. I don't think you said the name on air yet, so I won't say it. But there is a game that you're building and developing. I just want to read it. We haven't put the tweet in the description, but I want to read a tweet that we kind of forgot to include here from Dan. So at TheyCallMeDan on Twitter, I've hired a full-time team and have been working on an NFT PvP game on Hive for several months now. The game will be an HBD sync. All that goes in doesn't come out, which means loads of currency gets locked into the game and generates DeFi fees. And the interest earned is paid out to players. This will be a free airdrop to all Hive holders. Again, another reason to hold Hive. Snapshot, same day as Speak. So do you want to elaborate on this game, give us a name to it, and tell us a few more details about how this is going to work?
Yeah, the game's called Ragnarok, and it's a player versus player NFT game. I'll be releasing a post with the game mechanics. It's definitely going to be the most complex game in Web3, but it should be a lot of fun. I'll get into the tokenomics a little bit. So there's going to be a free airdrop. This one won't be a claim drop. I'll have more info on that as well. And the card number is going to be capped. So the amount of cards that go into existence, that's all there's going to be. And it's more of a, these things are meant to be pretty valuable. And they could go up in price if there's scarcity, et cetera, et cetera. It's not really a everyone gets to play type of game. There's going to be plenty of cards. A lot of people can play. But if you think of it as more of a, you look on at professional athletes play. Not everyone plays the football game, but people can watch on. And I see this type of game going there because you can either have infinite amount of cards where you just, the Hearthstone style, where they just come out with a new deck every year, or you can have a capped. And I'm going to go to capped route. So, and how the sync is going to work is to power up these cards. Every battle, you're going to get EXP coins if you win. And these EXP coins can be traded, or you can power them up for your cards. So, you think of Splinterlands, you combine cards. Here, you actually combine a currency, and the only way to get that currency is to play it in-game. There's no pre-mine of the currency or anything like that. And then there's going to be in-game items, weapons, food, potions, things like that. All of them are going to cost HBD. And so there's going to be a continuous forever sync of HBD as people buy items. So yeah, the cards might be capped, but if you want to be competitive, you're going to want some of your food rations, you're going to want some of the better weapons, etc. And you might want to buy some EXP coins. It's not going to be an easy game to level up. Those EXP coins, I'm really going to aim to have a lot of value in saving players' time. So the grinders are really going to get something of value if the game is valuable. But yeah, that's just a rough overview. I really want this game to be a savage sync. That's the whole point of it. And give the players as much back as possible. I'm not taking a dime. You can't even consider it my game really because there's no pre-mine. I'm not holding any of the cards. Nothing goes to me, not a cent. It all 100% recycles back into the players. And that's how you can create these sort of perma jobs where somebody can say, hey, I know that touch on the HBD sync. Everything goes in, it goes to HBD. HBD gets 10% interest. So before SIPs are made, we're going to have what you call a hybrid, which is just locking HBD, collecting that interest, and paying it out via multi-sig to participants. So every year there's going to be a big yearly tournament called Ragnarok. And if you're top 100, you're going to get a split in that interest. Plus you're going to earn some cards. Not all the cards. You're going to be able to mine some of the cards, some of the items, in-game stuff. So, it's going to be a real big fest every year where ideally on paper, the more HBD goes every year, the bigger the prize pool is every year. So if you're playing, you could think, 10 years from now, this is actually going to be, if it sustains, it's going to be paying me more. So you don't have to worry about, anyone closing down the game or what they're going to do to sustain it because all of that energy is kept and recycled. And I have many ideas for these types of games and syncs. So my goal here is to just make a ton of HBD syncs until the SIP is made, and then there'll be more Hive syncs.
Nice. I just love the idea of using a SIP DeFi pool bolted underneath these games and then using that to generate interest for the players, and locking value into the game. So it just completely removes the model for requiring a stock or a pre-investment, or a company like this. This is completely turning the tables upside down. I think we're going to call it play to earn generation 2, right? Is that where you were going with it?
Yeah, I didn't really think of a name of it, but yeah, I guess it would be Gen 2, where, everything's recycled back into the game.
I mean, slow down, man. We've only just had one game from Gen 1 hit the top of all of blockchain.
Yeah.
So the question I've got here, the most important question is, will you be able to play this game while you're also simultaneously playing a game of Madden and 2 games of poker at the same time?
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's what you like to do, Dan.
Yeah, the game has a lot to it, that's for sure. And it's going to have a little bit of flavor of me in terms of having multiple aspects to it. But I'm having a blast playing it, and I think it's going to... The whole reason I made this game was because I'm a gamer at heart, but I don't really like any of the MMOs or any of the games out there to an extent. I was playing Hearthstone, and I just wanted to create something that was truly, a funnel. For back to the
nice,
players.
Man. I'm really looking forward to it. I just like this idea of being able to return the value to the players and lock value into the system, which is going to be super cool. And I think it's going to be super bullish and super just new, like a new paradigm. And that's what we're all about here, is building new paradigms. So it's going to be class.